Hello, hello, and welcome one, welcome all. So happy to have you guys here with us. If you're just tuning in, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for your patience, right? It has been a bit challenging just trying to get on here and to avoid, challenges because we want to share with you where you can follow along just to get an understanding of what we're going to talk about. And absolutely, we're going to talk about the JLP's achievement book. All right. And we would love to hear your views on the record of achievement as well as your views on the JLP Choose Jamaica campaign in the context of the upcoming general elections. Also, how should the People's National Party respond? So that also is a big question for us to consider in the context of these updates. So I want you to let me know if you're hearing me loud and clear in the chat. All right. So just let me know if you're hearing me loud and clear there in the chat. Again, welcome one, welcome all. So happy to have you guys here with us. And again, guys, if you're hearing me loud and clear, let me know in the chat. So I am just checking here to see if we're good, if we're up and running. All right. And I am just checking in on the chat here. So I'm just going to do a quick check. Okay, seems to be going. All right. Again, welcome, welcome. Let me just unpin this message here. And please hit that like button, hit that subscription button as you get in. All right. And we would love to give you a big Voices in Education welcome. So let us know if this is your first time here. All right. Again, welcome one, welcome all. Also, let me know where you're tuned in from. That would be fantastic as well. So guys, I'm just here trying to get things going for you. And just trying to get things going there. So I'm just checking in the chat. So we're just waiting for a few persons to join us here as we get things going. All right. So again, welcome, welcome. We're just about to get this one started. And if you're interested in this conversation, we will be opening the phone line, the WhatsApp line. So we would love to hear from you in the context of this conversation. But what we want to share with you too is I guess the launch of the JLP's achievement book. All right. And we want to hear from you based on that launch. All right. Just your views. So we want to share that with you. And I'm just trying to get that up on screen for you at this point. So we are working on this one as I speak to you here. In a little bit, we'll be hearing from Ovi as well. I'm not sure, Ovi, if you're able to jump in at this point, but as soon as you're able to, let me know and we will definitely share further. But guys, I'm just getting this system up just to share here with you some key messages from the Jamaica Labour Party. All right, so I am just getting that information up. But because you guys were waiting, I didn't want you to wait too long, believing that, we're not going to show up. So We're somewhat just still in the process of getting our main screen up and running, but just connecting with you. But in the meantime, what are you looking forward to this election? What are you looking forward to? What would you like to see happen? All right, for you, your community, your constituency, Jamaica in general. What are your expectations? We would love to hear from you. If you're new to this platform, welcome. I just want to share that Voices in Education is a safe space where we share and learn from each other. We do that in a respectful way to ensure that we're maintaining our safe space, our safe community. All right, so we do not belittle anyone, we do not bash anyone, we do not disrespect anyone. We understand that there is so much richness in diversity, and as a result, we welcome diverse views and opinions. We just ask that you be respectful. All right, we're not here to defame anyone, so we can share our views in a respectful way. So if you're JLP or PNP or no P, you're just Team Jamaica, we welcome your views. We just ask that you be respectful. We do not defame anyone, and we accept all views. Just please be respectful. And if it is that you're going to call us, right, we want you to be respectful. All right. So if you know that you're not able to call us and hold it, I would suggest that you don't, because we are not into this whole defaming anybody, any party. We have respect for our opposition leader. We have respect for our prime minister. We respect both parties. While we may differ in the context of, what they put forward, that is totally okay, because again, in this space, we learn from each other, and there is so much richness in diversity. And that is definitely important to us here. But again, we kindly ask that you keep it real and respectful. Also, please remember to hit the like button, the share button, and the subscription button as we continue to grow stronger together. So, I am not sure if this is going to work, but I'm still having that technical difficulty in the context of just, getting the information up on screen there. But perhaps, I'll have to share some other way, but I am still just testing this out. And I'm just going to take a quick look in the chat just to see who is here with us. So again, welcome one, welcome all. So happy to have you guys here with us. And we would love to hear your views. All right. So again, rock and come in, guys. Rock and come in. And the questions are there on screen. All right. So, what are your views on the JLP's Choose Jamaica campaign? How should the People's National Party respond? And these questions, they are in the context of the JLP's achievement book that they're now sharing across Jamaica. So they're sharing hard copies. There are also soft copies available, or digital copies via QR codes. And you can also go to the choosejamaica.com, I believe, where you can have access to their achievement book. All right, so that's the context there. And for some reason, I am still experiencing some challenges here, guys. So I'm still going to see how best I can make this work because once we get into listening, then it should be good. But for some reason, things are not really working out for me in that way. All right, so I'm just going to see what else I can do here to get us all started because, there is more that we can do. And so in that context, for sure, I'll definitely share. So again, welcome one, welcome all. So happy to have you guys here with us. And I'll definitely try to share as best as I can. So I'm just waiting on another possibility here. So fingers crossed that this one will work. Or if not, I'll try to put it on that secondary screen where you're viewing from right now. But I believe we should be good to go here. I believe so. Just that, let's see. If we do it like this, all right. Maybe we'll just see how this works. All right. So, guys, I'm going to try this since we're unable to pretty much, get what we want. And so let me just try this now. So this is the achievement book that is coming up on your screen. So you should be seeing that at this point. And we're going to see how best we can, navigate and just share with you briefly and perhaps just circle back to the video that I want to share with you. And maybe if that doesn't work, we could do the audio, but we wanted you to see, what was happening on screen. All right, so record achievements, and pretty much I believe this is like the cover here, and JLP doing more for you. So we're just going to scan this achievement book just to get a sense of what's in there. And here on the front page, there's like a message, to our Jamaican family. And you'll see that popping up there on screen where the Jamaica Labour Party is sharing that since 2016, they have been working for one reason to improve the lives of all Jamaicans. It's like, those when you say, my fellow Jamaicans. All right. And they have mentioned here, just like an introductory statement here, things that they have been working on. So from job creation to road construction, healthcare or improvements to healthcare, improvements to safer communities. All right. And they're saying here, this is pretty much guided by a nation building mission. All right. And so they're saying that this booklet is not about what they hope to do. It highlights some of the projects that they have already delivered across education, housing, health, agriculture, tourism, digital access, and more. These are not promises, they are not plans, they are real results. So, what they're sharing here is that, these are our achievements, all right? So, they have recorded them and they're sharing them with you. And from what I have gathered so far, just by listening to perhaps their launch, and that is what I wanted to share, I know that some of the speakers, in particular, Kamina Johnson Smith, she was sharing that, it was there are more things, but they were able to believe just include about 256, I believe, achievements. And so that in the context we'll continue to share more as we get to to go deeper into what is in this booklet. All right, so happy to have you guys here with us, and let's look. So they're just highlighting more buses here, more bus routes, Morant Bay Urban Center, the new stadium track, so that is definitely highlighted here. So let me just quickly take a look in the chat. All right, so welcome, guys. Welcome, welcome. Don't be afraid to hit that like button and the subscription button, and ensure that you turn on your post notifications. So tap the bell and select all so that you do not miss any updates from this channel. It's Election Watch, and we're here to share with you all the updates and more. And not just only to share with you, but to hear from you. We would love to hear your voice. All right, so let's just skip here. And as you can see here, they are making, according to the Jamaica Labour Party, they are making Jamaica safer and justice fairer. All right, and here they have highlighted that they have taken serious steps to make Jamaica safer for everyone, from recruiting and training more police to renovating stations, constructing courts, and revising laws. We are building a system that protects people and provides them with access to real justice. So let us know what you have seen in your community, in your town, in your capital. Let us know. Have you seen any new police stations, renovated police station buildings, courthouse being constructed? Are you feeling safer in your community? So we want to hear from you. And do you believe that you have like better access to the justice system? So we want to hear from you. Welcome, KJ. Happy to have you here. And thanks for liking and subscribing. All right, so we'll just continue here. So rock and come in, guys. Rock and come in. And let's see if we can move forward here. All right, so here we have, some of the achievements on screen, or what they would say they have delivered. Remember, they shared in that introductory part, first or second page there, that is pretty much what they have delivered, right? That these achievements, they are not promises, it is what they have delivered. So here you can see they're sharing about some crime data here, where they have brought murders down by almost 45%. Gangs are dismantled. All right, and the G's are being taken off the streets. Over 6,000 new police officers have been added since 2018. More than 1,800 new police vehicles have been added. Police have been given modern tools and technology, and I guess you would recognize they had, what was it, like the Jamaica, the JCF fair. One was in Kingston, one was in Montego Bay, I believe, for a few days. I don't remember the exact title of that. So where they were showcasing some of, the technology that they have in the context of, crime, fighting crime. And let's go here. Over 150 police stations have been upgraded and 6 new ones have been built. Domestic violence units have been set up at 10 police stations. Sissoko has been expanded. Tougher laws were introduced, and they say here to deal with gangs, cybercrime, trafficking in persons, and organized crime. The Jamaica Defense Force has been strengthened with 5,000 additional soldiers and new equipment for land, air, and sea operations. So I suspect here, Ovi, are you here with us? So if you're here, let me know. And guys, we're just going to scan through some of these because, lots here, and I'll leave, some of these contexts on screen where you can view. All right. So we're seeing, reforms, MOCA, being established as an independent body, serious prison reform, training in human rights, all right, access to legal aid. So, for example, if you're not able to afford like a lawyer, um, new and better courts, all right, they mentioned that court systems being modernized, five new parish justice centers open, all right, and a new division was created for social justice, coordinating services like mediation, counseling, child diversion, and victim support. And here, over 124,000 counseling sessions provided to about 13,000 children and adults facing trauma and mental health challenges. And they are talking here about the new child diversion program helped about 2,300 youth avoid courts by offering mentorship and second chances, free mediation, free counseling, free dispute resolution, and free victim support services. So just some context, and again, it's a long list of things. They said 256 more prosecutors and legal staff, more judges. All right, parish court backlogs. So those cases they have been cleared. That is what the government is saying here. More justices of the peace and notaries trained and appointed. All right, so just some context there. All right, so before we continue here, Ovia, I just want to hear from you. How are you doing? If you're here, welcome. And let me just quickly go into the chat here.
Yes, I am here. I am here and I'm listening. The government doing a good job of outlining some of their achievements and, just making sure that the Jamaican public is fully abreast of what they have done and, with the intention, I'm sure, of winning their votes for the next term. So, that's pretty much what I have to say so far. But it's good that they're able to come out and highlight, some of the good work that they have done. So that's always good to reflect on, what good, what accomplishments you had, and also to show a way how you're going to continue to do this. So a good way for them to, get this out there in the public domain, just to say, all right, remember, the police stations weren't up to scratch. We didn't have as much JPs, legal aid, stuff like those that they have, achieved. They are highlighting it. And the government, well, the opposition, they will have to find a way to, combat whatever is put forward here. And, that is something that we'll anxiously await the response to this by the opposition. And hopefully the democracy will be maintained and, the goodwill of the people will be always put at the forefront. So coming back over to you.
Fantastic. And I am really happy that you brought up the opposition. And that was really one of our questions too. How should the PNP respond given this information? I suspect that they're going to go through the information and perhaps, dispute maybe some of the claims, that is going to perhaps happen. but I would want to see from them too. And sometimes it's not really opposing. I mean, this is a record of achievement, so it's not like like a manifesto or plans for what's to come. So what I want from them is really to put forward to us, some tangible plans so that we can see in terms of moving forward. And I know that they have been sharing a lot on the campaign trail, but I also feel that our democracy, our electorate, I should say, is more mature and is expecting more from our representatives. So the fact that the JLP has gone now with this record of achievements, right? And people can access a book, people can access it soft like a digital copy, so it's there, and I feel that that is also important in terms of what they're highlighting in the context of what they have done. So thanks for bringing that up. And I'm just going to go into the chat here. And I want to welcome Jordan. Thank you so much for sharing in the comment section there. And welcome if this is your first time here with us. So, guys, do not be afraid to share in the chat. Just keep it real and respectful. All right, and we'll just see what happens here. So as I shared, it's a lot. It's a lot, as you can imagine, and I'm not sure if we're going to be able to capture everything in this one live setting. But right now, you should be seeing just some pictures there. And let's just go. So supporting the people who feed Jamaica. So here I suspect here they'll have, what they have done, because it's not, they're saying it's not what they will do, it's pretty much what they have done. Let me just see if, okay, there we go. And so what they have delivered so far, they're sharing here. The highest crop yields in over a decade, repaired and rebuilt over 700 farm roads, trained and supported over 8,000 young people, including women, expanded irrigation systems, created the National Fisheries Authority, launched the Jamaica First insurance plan for farmers and fishers, removed GCT on imported breeding animals, cut GCT on farm supplies, started the dairy equipment lease program. So, farmers, we want to hear from you. So, if you're in St. Elizabeth, Clarendon, Manchester, other farming parishes, we want to hear from you. What have you seen in your communities? What do you have access to? What are you benefiting from? You will be the judge of these policies, of these achievements. So we definitely want to hear from you.
Yes, and I agree with you on that point. You know, these are all well and done and documented as achievement, but let us know what you have seen in your community. I heard my co-host saying earlier, have you seen a police station being, upgraded? Have you seen any farm roads being fixed? So let us see what is happening there. And just to answer that question, how can the PNP respond? They can talk about the reach in terms of what the government has achieved. You know, they could come forward and say, yes, you have this, but how far has it reached? And statistics has a way to hide certain information. So, that again, if they said that they have increased the number of JPs, if there were 10 JPs and there is 11, then there's an increase. So they could go at it at that point but as you said, it's about democracy and we want the best for, Jamaicans. And hopefully when both parties continue to, make their exchanges, the people of the country will definitely benefit from those. So Again, I'm looking forward to find out what the opposition will come forward with at the whenever they respond to this um, from the government. Coming back over to you.
Absolutely. And again, thanks for coming in and sharing that in terms of the data that perhaps the PNP could use in the context of these achievements. And also, I would say the effectiveness too. Is it how are people benefiting? Do people or how many people have access to, these things? So definitely important. So here they shared that they have upgraded Borders Research Center, created a new agriculture protection branch in the JCF, strengthened laws against predial larceny, delivered over 3 billion in loans and grants to farmers. New RADA app, all right, so they have an app. So Ovi, I guess you could check in the app store if you see that RADA app there. Largest cold storage facility established, all right, in 3 decades. New programs at Case, all right. So let's see here. And just some more updates here in terms of what they have achieved. Again, I'm just going to leave this this set on the screen here. A lot. It's about 60 pages in this booklet, and I hope that I can get to that video for you guys because I feel that that is definitely important. So quite a few things here. Ovi, did you find that app in the App Store, the RADA app?
I'm looking to find it. It's just the RADA app. I'm looking to see it, or if they're going to go rural agricultural.
It should
I'm
be
looking
perhaps
for it.
just RADA,
RADA.
RADA. And
All
I'll
right, and then
and
I'm
guys,
going
you
to check.
can check too.
I'm going to check. I'll let you know.
All right, so fantastic. And while Ovi's doing that, and I suspect that you have seen here, let's just try and do this. All right, so we're just moving forward here. So some nice photos here. And let's just wait. So more photos. All right, so the next aspect in the context of their achievements, better roads, homes, water, and light for everyone. All right, they're sharing here that they have invested in the things that help communities grow: better roads, more housing, land titles, access to water and electricity, and reliable transportation. These are the fundamentals that enhance life and connect Jamaicans to opportunities. All right, so let's just see here some of what they have achieved. And I think they pretty much summed that up very well for us. So just waiting for my secondary screen to. So they're talking about land titles that they have delivered, a new land titling system. People now own a home, so more people owning a home. All right, new homes, all right, have been built. So they're sharing here over um 34,000. All right, fantastic. More than 300 homes were delivered to vulnerable families via the new social housing program. All right, so that happened there. And let's see here. First national rural school bus system, all right, in place. Public transportation has been upgraded. So just some aspects there. Ovi, I am coming over to you.
Yes, I'm still searching. It tells me on Google that there's a RADA app
I guess that's
designated
it.
for. Yeah, but I can't seem to find it in the App Store. So that's just the challenge that I am having. But
Let me
it says
just
that
try
there's
from my
one.
end. Okay.
Yeah. So, I guess that we could
I think
literally
I think I
check.
found it. If this is it, Rada Farmers app.
Okay.
It has about 1,000 plus downloads. So, and
Okay.
it says government. So maybe this is it. All right. So
Okay,
maybe,
great.
yeah, yeah. So just on these new points in the context of, rural school bus system, transportation has been upgraded. I don't know if you have any comments on these achievements shared by the Jamaica Labour Party.
For sure. So let us go with the school buses. I have, traveled on public transportation to get to school, and not all the drivers are willing to take you on, in their vehicles. Whenever it comes on to peak time, they definitely want to carry the adults so that they make more money. So what normally happens is that as a school age child, you tend to take the buses or the minibuses, to get to school. And sometimes, as you know, back in the history of Jamaica, those are some of the buses that, unfortunately have met in some accidents. And, with that in mind, you don't necessarily want to travel on it, I would say. Persons might have reservations traveling on it. But it's good that they have established a system where you have buses that prioritizes students, and that is always a good thing. So I definitely salute them for that one. I think it will help, in terms of getting students to and from school, and that's what we want. I can remember days when I was, going to school when you desperately want to get to school early, but based on your context and based on where you live, that posed a big problem. And that is often compounded when you get to school and you're answerable to your teachers who want you to be at school early. So any steps in that direction, I would consider it to be positive, and I'm just hoping and trusting that parents and students will make the best use of it and also take care of those resources as well. So definitely a good move as it relates to the buses. Could you remind me of the other one that you mentioned? Because I wanted to say something on that, but that just slipped me.
I'm not sure. Some are on the screen right now, so you could look, but I don't want this point to slip me regarding the school bus since you were mentioning the school bus system. I appreciate that, students in rural parts of Jamaica, so country students, they'll get the opportunity to benefit from what students in the corporate area would normally benefit from in the context of the JUTC buses. So they would have had, access to subsidized bus fares, that aspect. What I would have what I so in the context of the school bus system in general, the rural or the school bus system, the rural school bus system, I have some questions and I don't know if I'll ever get these answers, and perhaps we'll have to wait and see. How will this system work? How are you going to, what would I say now, zone the students? Pick up time? Will it be one bus per school? How are you going to allocate the resources? how many students will get access to the buses? So those are some questions that I have. And because if you have one bus for a school, where is it coming from? Who benefits and who does not? So those are some questions that I have in the context, but it's a good idea. I just have to, as long as the safety aspects are okay, and I suspect that the government, they will ensure that they're doing whatever they need to do to ensure that our students are safe. But apart from that, I have these questions, will students know that I am supposed to meet the bus at X spot? Will they get some notification? The school bus can take, you know, a specific number. So who gets in? Is it a first come, first serve basis? How many trips will the bus be doing? Those things are definitely important to me. Is it that they'll have one school bus that will take a as I asked, will a school bus be our buses be allocated, based on schools, or will it be just a particular area where, let's say, you're in Mapen, and if once you see the bus, it doesn't matter which school, we're going to drop you, are we going to drop the kids directly at school or at a particular point? So just some questions. And I asked that question given Jamaica's geographical location and how schools are and where schools are located, right? So let's say, for example, in Mapen, you have Denby High School that is right in that vicinity there, Glenmere High School close by. Just before Denby, you could see a Foga Road right there, right? And if we want to take it back, let's not go south. Let's just stay in Central. So in Central, somewhere in Central, because Foga Road perhaps is in Southwest Carolina, but close enough to Central, Central Clarendon. So you could see a bus taking Foga Road, right? Denby High School, Glenmere High School, and let's stop there. And perhaps Central High School. But how many buses will you have doing these schools in this particular geographical space? And where the routes, so I just have those questions. So guys, if you'd like to share, you can definitely share in the chat. And but again, it's a good idea to ensure that students, especially country students, that they can benefit, right? But for sure, I have questions. So yeah, Avi, any questions there, or can we go on? Or did you remember your point?
Yes, I think I was going to go with the fact that the government considered the rural communities as well. So that's pretty much where I was heading. So that was good. But I think you raised some brilliant points as well, how this will roll out and how will students benefit from this. And if we're saying 100 students attending a particular school from a particular area and the bus can take 25. How does that work? Does the bus take 25 and leave 75? So definitely understand what you're saying, and it's a good point. And that's what we need to do, just flesh out these points so that we can better understand and ask the requisite questions, a matter of fact, as it relates to whatever the government has put out. So pretty much that's it for me right now. Back over to
Okay,
you.
thank you for sure. And yeah, those questions I feel, would be good for us to get a better understanding, Yeah. And for example, to primary school students, will they be traveling with high school students? All those questions. But for sure, let's see if we can move forward here with this document. And we're just looking at, some more achievements. And again, I'm not going to read all of it, but cheaper transport is there. Some more savings at JUTC. Lower bus fares for everyone, new town centers, the biggest investment ever in St. Thomas, all right, more green spaces for families, all right, so that is definitely good to know. And electricity to more rural communities. So they say they have brought electricity to more rural communities. Expanded highways expanded across the island, island-wide road repairs, widen critical urban corridors in the Kingston and St. Andrew Metropolitan Corporation, I guess. I hope I'm getting that right. But in Kingston and St. Andrew, to better in support increase in road users. So achievements there. And we see some more achievements here on screen. All right, so the Spark program, we have heard a lot about that in the context of road construction. Bridges, all right, are being built or replaced across the country. Ian Fleming Airport was upgraded. Support for renewable energy, improve water supply, water tanks distributed, and less water waste and lower energy bills. So, guys, talk to me. Are you seeing, lower energy bills? And we know that I believe the government they were sharing that they weren't going to I'm trying to think of the right word. Extend the JPS license. I guess like a monopoly. They're going to open that up, I suspect. All right, let's see here what else we have. And again, guys, this is a quick scan, right? So we'll be back if we need to zoom in on a particular area for sure, because they have shared a lot. I believe in total, they say about 256 achievements. So that's quite a lot as we wait. All right, so here we have some more achievements. So building the economy and creating jobs. All right, let's see here. Since 2016, the government has worked hard to grow the economy in ways that help all Jamaicans. And this is according to the JLP booklet that I am reading from. All right, not my words. By cutting down debt, reducing taxes, attracting investment, and supporting local entrepreneurs and businesses, they were able to create more jobs, put more money in people's pockets, and improve public services for everyone. So, my question is, are you feeling more money in your pocket? Are you seeing more money in the pocket? I know they have had this thing, no new taxes for 8 years straight, so which is good. They're saying workers are taking home more pay, lower taxes across the board, light bills made more affordable. So we want to hear from you, and I am not seeing any comments in the chat. So come on, guys, I am refreshing here. So let me know if you're seeing any comments there in the chat, Ovi. But yeah, we'll just keep going here. So pretty much these achievements are pretty much around the economy and creating jobs. All right. And they talked about here, new jobs created, lowest unemployment rate in the history of Jamaica. So they're saying that they have brought unemployment down from 13.7% to just 3.3%. Now that's huge. If this is, and I suspect that this is so, but that's big. A big one there, I believe. Stronger savings and a stable dollar. Well, I don't know. You guys let me know. All right, and Prices kept steady, better job security for public workers. So talk to us, workers in the public sector. Let us know. Government workers are paid better. Talk to us, talk to us. We want to hear from you. And in a little bit, we're going to open the phone lines. All right. So it's not just going to be our voices. We want to hear from you guys as well. All right. So again, this is pretty much more about the economy, job creation. All right, more online shopping. So a lot of us, we are shopping online, and I guess a lot of us would like to hear this. All right, more online shopping is allowed tax-free. You can now shop online up to US $100 without paying duties, double the old amount. All right, 100 US dollars. Could I up that little more still? All right, duty free allowance raised for travelers. So when you travel, you can now bring back up to $1,000 worth of goods duty free, twice as much as before. And this is good. So for all the foreigners, when you're going back to Jamaica, remember you sometimes you have to pop off the tag them and hide your stuff and mark down the price when you reach a airport because them a question and they want to know how much this cost, how much that cost. No, it has gone up from 500 to 1000 USD. All right, so you can bring more stuff for your friends and family members, so that's definitely good. So think about it now, you probably can bring in a smart TV. What else of it? Air fryer. What else? They want one of those pressure cookers. You can bring in quite a few things actually. Quite a few things.
For
Of it.
sure, for sure
Yeah.
they could get a few stuff ordered, and once it's tax free or duty free, then that will save you. But as you rightly said, I think the limits could be a little bit better. Probably, well, and I'm sure he'll argue, the government will argue that they've doubled what was there. So it was
I
fifty
was
dollars
talking
before.
specifically, yeah, for the online shopping, like 100 US.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
I think they could
yeah.
have gone up a little bit more on that because, but two, the next thing too, that I would say you have to consider where that is concerned, if you increase that, then it means that you're taking away the market from Jamaica, right? So where I would perhaps go downtown, go buy something now, because I have this access to a global market where I can buy X amount of things, right? In a purchase, then I'm perhaps going to do that. But when you think about the fact that they might buy quite a few stuff, but I mean people might just do different orders, but then again the shipping that you're going to pay, I don't know. But what I believe that we perhaps have to balance is how the people downtown or in the arcades or the stores in Jamaica they're going to benefit in the context of the country. But we can also look at that and say, well, they're importing, right? So US markets coming in. But at the same time, we have to remember that these stores, for example, they employ Jamaicans. And so I think we have to strike a balance there somewhat. So they are going there and yeah, because imagine, Ovi, if we are just shopping in the US and just getting our things, we don't need to go into any store in Jamaica.
Yeah, I totally agree with that point. Yeah, there must be a balance, and as you said, if the shopping moves online too, it would definitely affect something else that they spoke about in terms of job reducing unemployment. So a lot of persons in Jamaica have, they have their little store that they do their selling, buying and selling as well, and probably that would affect the unemployment rate as well if persons buying goods are not able to sell it at a decent rate. So yes, I think it has to be a balancing act as you rightly mentioned. But let's see how things continue to unravel here.
Fantastic. So, on that note, let me see if we can move forward there. And we have some more information coming up here. Again, we're just scanning and just going through here just for you to get a sense of what is there. All right. So, here on screen, you have some more achievements there, and you can let us know too if you believe that these aspects, if they're really achievements, if you consider them to be achievements. All right. So, new banknotes issued. For me, I don't know if that is an achievement. I don't know if that is an achievement, but they did it. So again, guys, just look on the screen there and you let me know if this is an achievement or not. And perhaps Ovi, what we can do at some point is to just go through each area and just say what our just like quickly, not now, not in this one, but perhaps both of us, and we can say achievement check or not, or question mark, in that context. Not to say that it's not something that they have achieved, but to say that perhaps we would not regard that as an achievement really that is going to enhance our lives. So perhaps we could come up with a definition, because I don't know how new banknotes is going to impact my life in a positive way. I don't know. I could be wrong and not see that I don't know of it. So perhaps you can tell me, and we're just
Unfor- Unfortunately, I can't tell you as it relates to the banknote at all. So yeah, I like the idea. We could highlight the ones that we think would be most impactful on each page for sure, and kind of do it like that. So we could definitely look into that some other time.
all right, fantastic. So let me just take a quick check in the chat. So, guys, if you're popping in and popping out, please remember to hit the like button, the share button, and the subscription button as we continue to grow stronger together. If this is your first time here, welcome to the Voices in Education. Voices in Education is a safe space where we share and learn from each other. We do that in a respectful way to ensure that we're maintaining our safe space, our safe community, where you feel a sense of belonging. All right. So, again, here we do not bash anyone, we do not belittle, we do not disrespect anyone. We just keep it real and respectful. And we understand that we share different views, and that is totally okay, because we understand too that there is so much richness in diversity. So, again, welcome one, welcome all. So happy to have you here. All right, guys, let's just keep going. And we have some photos here. And let's see as we move forward. And hopefully, just hopefully, we'll be able to share that video with you. I don't know if it's going to work. If it doesn't work, that's fine. We'll figure it out some other time for sure. But yeah, so I'm just waiting for this page to load up here. All right, so we need to go back one. I don't believe they're blank. Okay, so just some photos coming up. I am not able to check if we're close to the end. All right, so here we go. Better health care for every Jamaican. All right, so let's see. This is according to the Jamaica Labour Party. We made healthcare a top priority because everyone deserves access to quality care, regardless of where they live or their financial situation. We rebuilt hospitals, upgraded clinics, trained more healthcare workers, and made medicine and screenings more accessible. Here is some of what we have delivered for you. All right, so they say they have upgraded 138 health centers. All right, built new health centers. So let us know if you have seen any upgrades in your community or any new clinics, or let us know. And let's see here. Again, we're just scanning here, guys. So they have trained, all right, over 1,000 community health aides, all right, introduced electronic health records, all right, in 13 major facilities, performed Jamaica's first robotic surgery at Mapen Hospital, showing real progress in medical technology. All right, so Mapen, you're large and in charge. That's what the government is saying there. All right, so installed modern CT scanners, mammogram, and X ray machines, plus upgraded operating theaters at the KPH, Spanish Town, Falmouth, Noel Homes, and Bustamante hospitals. All right, near completion of the first children and adolescent hospital in the English speaking Caribbean. So that's good, and major hospital upgrades. All right, they have shared there. And let's see here. NHF card benefits expanded to cover more illnesses. All right, including lupus, certain heart conditions, helping over 350,000 Jamaicans afford their medication. Cancer care coverage increased. All right. And then we have here started new subsidies to help pay for pap smears and prostate tests, helping more people catch illnesses early. More prescriptions filled via drug serve. All right. So they say they're up from 1 million in 2016 to over 3 million in 2024. Provided dentures to over 4,200 Jamaicans via the Second Chance Smiles program, helping them to eat, speak, and smile with confidence. So, guys, if you know of people who have benefited, if you're seeing these things happening, let us know. We want to hear from you. And let me just see if there's anything else here on healthcare. All right. So they have prosthetics that they have provided via New Life, New Limb program, free health checks, all right, national mental health campaigns, encouraging Jamaicans to speak openly and seek help, all right, giving people 24/7 access to someone who will listen and help, launch mobile wellness units. So, guys, the health line is 888 New Life, all right? So, I suspect that this is a number to call, 888 New Life. So, reach out because mental health is definitely important. It's important, and it's okay if you're not okay. If you're not okay, seek support. Nothing is wrong with you seeking support. All right. So I just want to make that clear. Seek help. If you need advice, you feel depressed, you feel stressed out, seek help. It's okay. It's definitely okay. All right. So I believe that's it for the healthcare section. So I don't know. Of it, one thing that perhaps comes to mind, and this would be something that I would want, not just the governing party, but the opposition, everyone, Jamaicans in general, is how we are prioritizing mental health. I feel that the stigma is still there where sometimes if people need help, they are not getting the help that they need. And for me too, when I consider mental wellness, it's not just it's the mind, it's the entire body, right? Because physically, if you're not okay, mentally you're not going to be okay. And mentally, I don't think you can be okay if you're not okay physically, for example. And so we need to think about that. And I feel that too, the care, just how that care is being administered, we need to think about that. And perhaps it's the lack of resources, and I feel that more resources need to go there in the context of mental health and support, and supports too for people with disabilities. I was reading earlier today where that I believe is Honorable Colonel Charles, I believe he's in social, is it social security? Well, he's in that ministry, right? Honorable Colonel Charles Jr. And they launched an app, I believe, called I Am Able. So if you're not familiar with that, for people with disabilities, and they have shared that, people can access a wide range of services from that, which is good. But, I am going to challenge us as Jamaicans to consider, how we, I guess, look at disabilities, because I feel that for a lot of us, we see disability as something physical, right? And I just want us to challenge ourselves to consider the fact that not every disability is visible, right? Not every disability that you can see. And I feel that certain mental health conditions really they're a disability because they affect the quality of your life. And let's say, for example, kids who may be diagnosed with autism, kids who may be diagnosed with ADHD, those different things, certain mental health conditions for sure, they definitely impair the quality or affect the quality of someone's life. And I feel that it is definitely important for us to have this conversation, and definitely important for us to support, people with disabilities. I mean, the North American school buses, one thing that I can appreciate from those buses is that they're equipped with, what would you call it, a lift. So if you have students who who utilize a wheelchair, they're able to be transported to school with respect and dignity. And that is where we want to go. So we see some pluses, but there is still work that needs to be done. So Ovi, I'm just going to come over to you. If you have anything that you'd like to share, that is.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, I love the fact that you touched on mental health, and the fact that not all disabilities are visible. So, we just need to just do the basics right, take care of each other. And once we are caring for each other, I think lots will fall into place in that regard. And I must say, I like the point that you raised about the accessibility of those school buses too, because, parents who have kids with disabilities and they don't have their own vehicle, then, that could be a way out. And in essence, we spoke about how would these buses be rolled out. We could consider the fact that persons with disabilities, they could be given priority in terms of traveling on those buses, because we were talking about that a bit earlier. And, the government is boasting and, sharing at least that they have done really well with health care and so on. But and made healthcare free in Jamaica too. But we have to get into the roots of it and persons who are actually using these systems and to see if it is effective. Is it a case where persons are turning up to the doctors, getting prescriptions, and they're not able to get the drugs or not all of the necessary medication that they need? So, it's well good and well for them to share what they have done, but if you're here with us and you have experienced, these positives that they're sharing, let us know how this is impacting you in your neck of the woods. So yes, I have been able to access real care and I got all that I need. Or, was it a case that you had trouble getting the medication? So it's a lot to delve into. And I know, sicknesses are varied and medications go short at times and so on. But, you know, we have to analyze all that is put forward here and we have to appreciate the thought and the growth as well. But as you will know, my co-host, sometimes when we paint this with a broad brush, a lot of the important nitty-gritties, as we would say, the important points are missed as well. So, these are good questions that we would want to get a little bit of answers and the best persons probably to answer this is the persons who are, actually dealing with, the healthcare system and not necessarily the government who are rolling out these programs. So that's how I view it. But, as I said, overall, when you look at it generally, it is the thought in terms of the general direction that they're headed that we have to appreciate the thinking. And I'm hoping that whatever is rolled out is being effective. Coming back over to you.
Yeah, for sure. Again, as you mentioned, the direction seems to be good. And as I said, there is still more work to be done. So we are definitely open for better days for sure. And let's see here, just some photos. So let's see. So I'm just trying to get this, and it came up. All right, so the next one here is fixing the education system and giving every child a fair start. All right. Perhaps we'll have lots to say about this, maybe, maybe not. We, according to the Jamaica Labour Party, set out to overhaul the education system from top to bottom with better schools, better trained teachers, more technology, and genuine support for students. Because every child, no matter where they are from, deserves a fair start and a real chance to succeed. All right, so now to what they have delivered. They said they have repaired and upgraded 362 schools, all right, at a cost of 3.8 billion Jamaican dollars. All right, pushed national education reform via the Education Transformation Commission and Trend Program to fix the system and raise standards, made it easier to get student loans. This is a big one, I think, for Jamaican students. So students no longer need a guarantor to apply for, a loan at the SLB. So that's really a big one. You know, I feel that given my experience, it has been a challenge, to get two guarantors. Then, it was one. Now they have removed that barrier, and it means that, the little girl from the poor community there where the family they can go through. I mean, there are other things, but at least you can say, okay, I am going to use education as a vehicle in the context of social mobility. All right, so removing that barrier, I feel, is a big one. And I believe they have also lowered interest rates. That's something that they have been doing for some time, I would say. And here we go, lowered interest rates and fees on student loans. All right, performance-based GPA interest rate reduction. So incentive program to reward university students good performance with lower interest rates. I think some time ago, Ovi, we had a conversation about this. I don't know if it was on the live, but I had some issue with this. Yes, incentive based interest rate, but that's when we're all starting at the same place. And I'm going to explain this point to you. Remember, some of us, we struggle so much, right? And that is why I say it's important, for our voices to be heard. It's all good if a student can get all A's, do well, right, and get a lower interest rate. But what I am saying, we're not leveling the playing field when we do that, because in life, just think about a race that you're going to run, right? Ovi, me can run. You can imagine me going on a race, go see Shelly and Price in the race, and we are start at the same start line. Shelly is going to run left me. May I ask you, may I tell you, so she are going to dust me, right? So think about that. Or you put yourself with a Usain Bolt, like back in the day when Usain Bolt had doing 9.58, 1919. Like, you can't start at the same place. So Usain Bolt is always going to be ahead of you because your body not built for the speed. So just using that context for us to get an understanding of what I am sharing. For some of us, we come from very humble beginnings where it is also intertwined with struggles, mental health issues, so many things that can follow us along in life and that can also detract us, right, from getting that very good GPA or a good GPA to get a lower interest rate. So for me, I am saying if you can lower it for some, lower it for all. And guys, when we talk about being an advocate, don't just think about yourself because we have to think about the pressures. Not every child or student at the university level can function under pressure. Some people are not good at exam pressure. So they might fail the exam one time, but the next time they pass it. We need to consider these different contexts. You have, as I mentioned, some students, they're trying so hard to be someone, to be somebody. And I'm saying, not saying that they are nobody, but just saying in the context of getting that education, getting that degree, getting that qualification. They try so hard, and because they're not from a very affluent background, right? They're not from a home where they can have the money. They have to be working as well. So that cuts into study time, preparation time. And so while they're there juggling, how do you define success for that person? So for me, success or achievement is really on an individual basis, because your circumstances at that point will determine what success, looks like for you. So in the context of this performance-based interest rate reduction, if them are do well, just if them a pass, at least if them a pass, let everybody do it. I don't know where the cutoff is, but all I am saying is that I would want the government to consider these challenges. We have students who are really from poor backgrounds, they struggle, or you have students who are worrying about their family members who are sick, students who are coming from violent communities. We have so many different contexts that can prevent a student from performing so well, but it's not that they're not able to perform. But I said, just And even if they fail a course or two, still give it to them because we want to encourage them to let them know that the support is there because they could fail the course based on their circumstances. So, is it a case that we want to say to them, your circumstance is going to define you or define what success looks like for you? All right, here ended my little sermon on that. Shouldn't have been that long, but yeah, Obi, I don't know if you get the point, and people in the chat, let me know if you get that point too as well. So, Obi, I don't know if you have any little thing that you want to share on that.
I understand what you're saying. I am not as passionate about it as you are, to be honest. But I think I would let me tell you where I'm 100% in support of you. If you can get the interest rates down, get them down and leave it at that. Give kids the opportunity that, so that they at least know that the playing field is level. I like that. And I must say, it's a good move by the government to take away the guarantors for the loan. So for any child or anybody who is go out there who wants to go out and do their education, they will not have that as a burden to carry along with them in the sense that you'll have to go out and beg or find persons who are willing to sign for you as well. So that's a good move. And I'm just hoping and trusting that, the youngsters are making use of the opportunity that's there. And, once you get through the system, remember that you need to contribute back to the system that has produced you. So when you finish your studies, you make sure that you put yourself in a place that once you finish your studies, a matter of fact, and you get your job, you try and start paying back that student loan so that others can benefit. So we as I said earlier, we have to take care of each other. And if this opportunity is there, grab it with both hands and let us, whenever we are able to, we get back that contribution so that others can benefit. But I think that's a big one there as well. And as I said before, as long as there's equity, then everybody will be happy, and that's how I view it right now. So coming back over to you,
All right,
not
fantastic.
yeah, can't do it as
Fant-
long as you.
Fantastic. So, as you can see on screen, more achievements according to the Jamaica Labour Party and the governing party there. They have expanded the STEM program, awarded, created more scholarship opportunities, improved support for students with needs, and they're saying here by providing more in classroom teaching supports, and they have increased the number of classroom assistants and shadows to 759 and increased their pay by 50%. I would love to know what the pay is really right at this point. And improve the school feeding program. They have distributed tablets and they have increased pay for teachers and principals. I know they will have something to say about that, but if it's even 2%, 1%, it's still an increase. Strengthen school leadership in the context of the NSEL. All right, and again, scholarship opportunities there. All right, let's see what's coming up here. And I guess this one is closing out in the context of the educational opportunities. Zaim, welcome. In a little bit, we'll just open the WhatsApp line. All right, thanks for commenting there in the chat. And here we go. So just some more photos here. All right, so investing in youth talent and opportunity. All right, we believe in more than just talk. We backed our young people, creatives, and athletes with real support, training, jobs, funding, and spaces to grow. Because when Jamaica youth win, the whole country moves forward. All right, so here they say they trained over 6,000 young people via the Jamaica National Service Corps, giving them discipline, skills, direction, and jobs. All right. And Jamaicans, they have access to free training. Yeah, that was a big one. Hard Trust NTA. I believe that was in the education section too, all the way up to the associate degree level. So guys, make use of these opportunities. Try something new. Go, all right? So created job and skill training opportunities, new training and capacity building opportunities. All right. First, Government of Jamaica sponsored Tech Startup Accelerator. All right. So supporting our young tech entrepreneurs. So if you're interested in that, you can definitely try to access whatever startup they have. All right, introduce the first ever health and life insurance plans for registered entertainers, creatives, and athletes so they are protected and valued. All right, set up a 1 billion Jamaica Screen Development Fund to support local film and video production, building the entertainment industry from the ground up. Created a national artist registry so creatives can get help in times of crisis and access benefits. So let's just go here. Designated special entertainment zones to support events and festival with Fort Rocky and Jamroll. Supported overseas opportunities for artist exposure. All right. Restarted and revitalized Grand Gala and Jamaica Festival events. Secure UNESCO recognition, completed phase one of the redevelopment of the National Stadium. That's a big one. Upgraded sports infrastructure across the island, and we know that they have a plan to upgrade the National Stadium there. All right, so some photos here. Ovi, I don't know if you have any comments on this one. Anything that you'd like to highlight or share in this section?
Well, I like the fact that they're thinking about the entertainment side of things, the dancers that are, I guess, the musicians in general. And, persons who don't necessarily fall down that education stream, those persons who are naturally talented otherwise, and just to secure them in those ways are really, really good. And I heard about the development, and I have to add this one. I don't think it's there yet, but Sabina Park, they did a really, really good job earlier this year in terms of, getting back cricket in Jamaica and getting the new scoreboard set up there and get the lights in, and also international games without any major glitches, and have to commend the government on that. So back over to you.
All right, fantastic. So let's just see if we can move on here. All right, so supporting women, families, seniors, and the most vulnerable. All right, real prosperity is not just about big projects, it's about taking care of people who need the most help. We stepped up support for women, families, the elderly, persons with disabilities, and those facing abuse because no one should be left behind. All right, and just some of the things that they have done here: increased support under the PATH program, All right, raised NIS pensions. So would love to hear what that is looking like. Launch Jamaica First pension. And we're just highlighting here, guys. And on the screen, quite a lot. So I'll just see what I can pick out from this one. All right. So they're reviewing laws to protect seniors. Salaries. So they have increased salaries for social workers. All right. Establish the country's first three government-run domestic violence shelters with space for children and full services for women in crisis, including empowerment and transition. So that's good. Stronger laws against domestic violence. All right. Introduce new protections against sexual harassment. 24-hour hotlines and support unit, new programs to support young mothers and fathers. All right, major improvements to CPFSA and children's case management. So I think that is the Child Protection and Family Services Agency. Expanded care for the homeless and most vulnerable. All right, and 1 billion in solidarity grants to help 50,000 Jamaicans facing hardship. All right, and increase overseas work programs in agriculture and hospitality. Let us know if you have benefited or if you know someone who has benefited or who is currently benefiting. All right, pass the Disabilities Act and launch the I Am Able campaign. So I told you about that earlier, and there's an app for that as well. Open the first government run therapeutic center for children with special needs. All right, started expanding special needs assessment services to more parishes outside of Kingston. Introduce paid paternity leave. All right, so men, you can help to support, the family from the get-go. Increase maternity leave for public sector workers from 40 to 60 days, giving mothers more time to recover and bond with their newborns. And I'm going to challenge you, Jamaica. Let's get it to some months or a year, 6 months, 1 year. We need that foundation to be set for sure. So let's see. There's a start. We can definitely do better. Any comments on that section, Ovi?
For sure, I love the fact that, as it relates to children and having children, that the males are being included in terms of, the policy. Yeah, I heard you reading out some stuff there, and it's really good to know that men are given paternity leave. And, we the culture in Jamaica in some instances is that, the males are not so attuned to the initial stages of, the life of a child. And, it's good that these provisions are made. So as a father, you don't necessarily think that, well, I have to go out there and work, so I can't stay and bond with the child, which is something that is important and might be underdone on the males part, but it's good to know that the males are being into it, they're being invited, I would say, to play a stronger role in the lives of their children, and that is good to see. Not that it should be a case that, it should be an invitation or incentive in that sense, but, it helps, I would say, to give that level of comfort in terms of being able to provide for the children. So good that they have looked at it from a male's perspective in that regard. So I'm definitely going to hold on to that from this page of information. Coming back over to you.
All right, fantastic. So As we're conscious of the time, let us quickly move to protecting Jamaica's environment and preparing for the future. And this is definitely important, guys, because we rely so much on the environment, and so sustainability is definitely important when it comes on to the environment and how our children and their children and their children will benefit from, the land. All right, so here they shared that we took real action to protect Jamaica's land, sea, and air because climate change is not just talk, it is real. From banning plastic to planting trees and preparing for natural disasters, we work to keep our island clean, safe, and resilient for the next generation. All right, so just to look at some um, achievements according to the Jamaica Labour Party here. So new garbage trucks, they ban single-use plastic bags and styrofoam. And let's see here. All right. Reduce garbage flowing in the Kingston Harbor. So they engage partners. So let me just put that there. Planted over 3 million trees, legally protected 14 key forest areas, legally protected 15% of our marine areas, and almost 25% of our land. Set up a special rivers unit at NEPA. All right, launch the Caribbean's first dual polarization Doppler radar system, giving us better weather tracking and early warnings for storms. Created a national weather app. So if you have not heard about it, then you can go there so that Jamaicans can get real-time weather alerts right on their phones. So built over 1,800 small check dams, bought a special tree relocator machine. All right, let's see here. And I guess that's the environment, which is good. And obviously, I'm just going to skip on to small businesses. All right, let's see here. And perhaps quite a few. So let's see what's here to scan. I'm just waiting for that to load on your screen there. And quite a lot, of course. All right, so provided over 9 billion in loans and grants, all right, extended productive input relief, launched the Jamaica Trade Information Portal and Jamaica Single Window for Trade. All right, both designed to make importing and exporting much simpler and faster. Created the Export Jamaica platform to help small Jamaican businesses break into international markets, updated our intellectual property laws, all right, facilitated over US 100 million in business leads, launched the Export Academy to train Jamaicans in how to sell to the world, built digital transition centers and trained over 2,700 small businesses in digital skills, increased investments in special economic zones. All right, so let's see here. Building back tourism more resilient and inclusive. Tourism is one of Jamaica's largest industries, and according to the Jamaica Labour Party, they have rebuilt it stronger following the pandemic. But more importantly, they made sure that more Jamaicans benefit, not just the big players, but the workers, small farmers, creatives, and communities that make it all possible. All right, so what have they delivered so far? So they have welcomed over 4.3 million visitors in 2024. All right, created tourism workers pension scheme, launched Jamaican 500 million housing program to help tourism workers own homes near where they work. All right, and we have had, workers protesting some time ago. Connect over 2,000 small farmers to hotels, supported small businesses, I think, and creatives, started a Jamaican 100 million tourism innovation incubator, trained and certified tourism workers. Boscobel was upgraded to international airport status. All right, so let's see here. Secured investment to add 20,000 new hotel rooms, improve tourism infrastructure, promoted ecotourism and community tourism, expanded the Spruce Up Jamaica program. Spruce Up Jamaica, nice up yourself, all right? Position Kingston as a carnival destination. Okay. So if you want your carnival, you know where to go. So the next part here, preparing for storms, protecting our future. Jamaica will always face natural disasters, but we are better prepared than ever. We planned ahead, acted quickly during emergencies, and rebuild stronger so that the country can bounce back more quickly and stay safer in the future. And here is what they have done. Responded to Hurricane Beryl with Jamaican 5 billion in support for affected Jamaicans, and they claim they did it without borrowing a cent, not even a red cent. They said they didn't borrow any money. 16,514 persons received direct financial support for recovery from Beryl, checks amounting to 1.45 billion. So guys, let me know if you have received anything from the government. And be fair, if you are PNP, let me know. If you are JLP, let me know. If you're no P, let me know. All right, so we want to know. All right, so again, let's see here. We're getting close to the end of this document. So we're just waiting for that page to come up. All right, here we go. Created a national natural disaster fund so the country has money ready for emergency like storms, floods, or earthquakes. Upgraded critical infrastructure, more training and upskilling of emergency first responders within the fire brigade, modernized the Jamaica Fire Brigade, strengthened Jamaica's disaster laws. All right, passed a new building act. All right, so there we go. And we're moving right along to fixing government to serve you better. According to the Jamaica Labour Party, they made significant changes to how the government operates, reducing waste, combating corruption, and enhancing the system's transparency and efficiency. They raised the standard so that public service truly means serving the people. And here are their achievements. As you can see on screen, started the process to make Jamaica a republic, passed the law to create the new parish of Portmore, made the Bank of Jamaica independent, and I guess the first two somewhat, controversial given the opposition's, take so far. So we'll definitely see what happens there as we continue to look at what they have achieved so far. So, set up and funded the Integrity Commission to fight corruption in our country. And I know the opposition will have something to say about this one for sure. Appointed a minister for efficiency and innovation. Merge or streamline over 40 government agencies WMA, developed a central legal website where Jamaicans can access laws, court decisions, and government documents in one place. I know what I would like to see too, where they have like a court, I guess the court administration system, where people can watch cases. Some cases that are happening, especially cases of a public, real public interest, you can't stay and watch it on your phone. Watch what is happening, or at least hear the judge, the judgment, just for people to understand sometimes how the justice system works. So good that we have access to laws and court decisions because that is also important. Introduce job descriptions for MPs, new regulations mandating no less than 30% women or men on public sector boards, new regulations allowing all qualified members of the public to apply to service on public sector boards, passed the Data Protection Act and created the Office of the Information Commissioner to protect citizen privacy. So that's good. And I would love to know how that works, for example, in the context of data privacy, like citizen privacy and your information. And there was something here that I needed to go back to. I'm just trying to read in my mind here, guys. And again, we're going to come to some of these to say, we could deem that an achievement or perhaps not an achievement. All right, so let's just keep moving. All right, and this one, raising Jamaica's voice around the world. According to the Jamaica Labour Party, they ensured that Jamaica is respected on the global stage by building strong ties with other countries and strengthening their connections with Jamaicans living abroad or our connections from visa free travel to international partnerships. They positioned Jamaica as a powerful and connected nation. All right, so let's see here what they have delivered for you. According to the Jamaica Labour Party, introduced a new national diaspora policy. All right, more seamless and less costly customs arrangements for return and philanthropy. Hosted four major diaspora conferences, hosted two successful CARICOM heads of government meetings, secure major international support from global partners, finalized visa-free agreements with countries like Ghana, Kenya, and Dominican Republic, signed on to new partnership agreements with is this AFR Exim Bank, established diplomatic relations with 10 new countries. All right, launch an economic diplomacy program, improve consular services for Jamaicans worldwide. All right, I would love to know what these services are, the improved services. So for persons, in the diaspora, that's what you'll get like from the Jamaica High Commission, those services. Secured Jamaican seats in key international organizations. All right, so let's see here. We should be wrapping up right now with this document. So lots in this document. And guys, we want you to read for yourself, Read for yourself. If you go to choosejamaica.com, you can have access to this document, or they're sharing or distributing across the country. So pick up your copy and look at it. When you go to vote, vote based on what you know. You have the information and you vote for who you want to vote for based on who you believe will help to bring this country forward, because we can't go back. All right, we need to go forward and we need to continue on a path of growth, success, whatever it is, for hope, prosperity, all the good things them for the Jamaican people, for Jamaica land we love. All right, so safeguarding Jamaica via crisis and recovery. Having successfully emerged from COVID-19, many people have forgotten just how difficult those 2.5 years were for Jamaica and the world. Your government worked hard to bring Jamaica through. All right, so here are what they say they have delivered for you. Expanded services and innovated healthcare to save lives. All right, protected over 440,000 Jamaicans via the 20 billion care program, safeguarded all public sector jobs, provided billions of dollars in compassionate grants. Come on, they could at least put a figure here. Worker stipends, cash transfers, and care packages, tax incentives for employee retention. All right, launch ends to support over 2,000 entrepreneurs, created new innovative regulations to safeguard BPO jobs, achieve one of the fastest economic recoveries in the region, secured unprecedented levels of international support, creation of an online immigration portal. All right, so that was during COVID when you had to quarantine and they have the quarantine rules and reentry and, you know, COVID testing. So that's what they're making reference to there. And I promise you, we're getting closer to the end of this document, bringing services online and connecting more Jamaicans. So, what they say they have delivered here by utilizing technology to make life easier for Jamaicans by expanding online access to government services, introducing free Wi Fi, and enhancing internet connectivity in schools and communities. Whether you're applying for a passport or registering a business, things are faster, simpler, and more accessible than ever. And I think even recently to RGD, they have been, is it RGD? Not RGD, Passport Office. They have been moving around via like mobile services. So to put more government services online, launched the Jamaica Business Gateway, expanded free public Wi-Fi, made it easier to receive social support, installed high-speed internet, formed the Caribbean's first artificial intelligence task force, modernize the RGD, all right, making it simpler to register births, marriages, and other important documents. Now, Jamaica, something about this RGD and birth certificates. You all need to put the last name of the child on the birth certificate. All right? Not every country is going to understand Jamaica's culture, or you indicate, similar to how you have these asterisks on the birth certificate, they perhaps need to indicate. So if you put number 5 where the surname should be with the asterisks, at the bottom where you have they put some notation to say number 5 asterisk child carries, father's last name, whatever it is. But I don't know, they have the space on the document, so just put the child's last name. I think that's easy. I don't think we need millions to do that. All right, let's see here. Introduce a new national digital ID. All right, so Jamaicans can more easily access services and benefits, digital fitness certificates, and motor vehicle registration. All right, so providing lower costs and greater efficiency for road users. And I think a lot of people they're going to appreciate that. New online application process for police records. All right, so there you go. Let's see. Are we done yet? We're getting there. Oh, so this is like their final thing here. This is the record of the Jamaica Labour Party, a record of responsible leadership, strategic management, real investment in people, and steady progress. All right, and they have here highlighted we manage the economy with care, debt is down, reserves are up, and we have cushioned the population from the worst effects of recent global shocks. Hundreds of thousands of Jamaicans are working, crime is falling, more hospitals and health centers have been built, more doctors and nurses are serving our people, roads have been improved, new highways are connecting more Jamaicans and bringing opportunity closer to where people live. These are not promises, these are real results. All right. And they say here, when the PNP was in government, Jamaicans faced higher taxes, rising debt, chronically high interest rates, and limited growth. Even while the rest of the world was thriving, we lived the reality of underinvestment in health, education, security, roads, and water. We have been working hard to turn this around. They have no clear plan, no proven team, and no record of getting things done. Putting them back in government would put Jamaica's future at risk. It would mean more borrowing, more taxes, less accountability, and slower progress. We cannot go back. Jamaica is moving in the right direction, and we are committed to making it even better by doing even more for everyone. The difference between us are real. The improvements in Jamaica are real. Let us keep building together. If you believe in stability, in growth, in opportunity, if you believe in Jamaica, land we love, then stand with the team that is delivering every day. Choose Jamaica. And they say, choose the Jamaica Labour Party. We're doing more for you. So now, how should the People's National Party respond? And I guess, Ovi, I am going to come over to you. I'm just seeing if we're missing anything on screen here, but I doubt not. I'm just checking from, no, all we're going to see there is the bell. So I could stop sharing here if it will allow me, but let me just see if I can share from the secondary device because I feel like that screen is going to go. So that's okay. It did its thing there. So just back now on the secondary screen. So I guess that's all that there is with that primary screen that is freezing right now. So Ovi, talk to us. I
Yes,
don't know if you have any. Yeah, you can go ahead.
yeah, well, as I alluded to before, the opposition, they'll have to get some numbers into some of these things that the government has, mentioned as accomplishments. So, it can't be invested a few billion dollars. You want to know how much it was invested, how much was delegated to families who suffered during the hurricane time period there. So they'll have to try to get things broken down into small pieces. And also, what I would love to see from the opposition as well, if there is something that they have reviewed and reviewed it thoroughly, in the sense, let's say, as it relates to, let's say, student loan, because we gave them good reviews on the government, good reviews on student loan. If you can't punch holes into that system that they have put forward, then you have to commend them for what they're doing. And I think that would strengthen the democracy and also, you know, give them a better outlook, I would say. Persons would appreciate the fact that, you can see something as the opposition that is good and say, well, we accept that that has been well done, you know. But they will have to get a lot of numbers into what the government, has proposed here as placed out there as accomplishment. So that's one way they will have to. And whenever they find loopholes, they will have to suggest ways in which they could, do better in those regards as well. So it's not all about finding problems. They'll have to find, or propose solutions to those problems, or to propose being able to be more successful in certain regards. So that's the kind of approach I foresee them, taking in order to be relevant and to be connecting with the people of the country. So, in a nutshell, that's what they could do. They'll have to, do dig deep, but, I'm thinking at that moment, get the numbers out there and show where the deficiencies are and how you would approach that. Back over to you.
All right, fantastic, fantastic. I just need to get the charger for this device here. But yes, guys, as you can see in the chat, the WhatsApp number is in the chat. We can take a few quick calls. If you're going to call, please keep it real and respectful. We do not bash anyone, we do not belittle anyone. All right, we do not defame anyone. All right, so we ask you to keep it real and respectful. And once you're calling, please turn off your YouTube feed so we'll just see if that happens. But see, Hilton, welcome, welcome, and happy to have you here. All right, so yes, guys, now is the time. So we'll just wait a little bit more to see if we're getting any calls. If not, we're going to wrap this one up. Again, we want to say thank you so much for coming over, for sharing in the chat there. If you shared in the chat, for just listening, for being a silent listener, or just trying to figure out what is happening in this space, what is happening on this channel. But welcome. You will notice if you have been here before that once we approach a particular topic, we treat everyone with respect, all right? Because at the end of the day, if Mr. Golding is our prime minister, we have to respect and accept that. Or perhaps if you don't accept, respect, right? If Mr. Wholeness is returned as the prime minister, it's Jamaica because it's Jamaica over one person or a party. This is Jamaica. And so, even with other programs that we bring, it's always along this line respect, respect, and we take diverse views. That's okay. We just do it respectfully. All right. So, Avi, I am not getting any calls, so perhaps I'm just going to wrap this one up. And if you have been here earlier, and sorry about the technical difficulties, those were beyond our controls and we control, and we were unable to show that video, but perhaps some other time, I don't know, but at least we were able to scan the booklet here and just give you a sense of the achievements that the Jamaica Labour Party is sharing. All right, so we want to keep you informed. We also want to know your views on the booklet and also in the context of the achievements, and also how do you believe the People's National Party should respond. So, Ovi, I'm just going to come over to you for a final comment.
All right, thank you so much for, sharing this information with us. It has been a good conversation. I want to say thanks to all the persons who came out and, you gave us a view, you commented in the chat. Continue to stick and stay with us as there are more programs that will come along this path. We're going to try our best to cover, aspects of the election as that draws near, and just pick and stay here with us. So if you haven't hit the subscription button, hit the like button, turn your post notification on, and just continue to stick and stay with us. Take care.
All right, fantastic, fantastic. So, yes, guys, we're here, and it's going to be a platform in the context of the elections where you can tune in. We're going to also start doing our predictions for the constituencies and, who we're predicting to win for the constituencies. So we want to hear from you. So you want to ensure that you're sticking and staying with us. All right. And let me just take one more quick look in the chat there. All right. Not seeing any new comments. So, blessings and love, everyone, and we will see you in the next live. All right. So, bye for now, everyone. Take care.